Hello dear students, today we are going to discuss irreversible injury in this lecture number 5. As we have covered 4 lectures of cell pathology and aging, these lectures are especially important for USMLE exams, NEET PG exams and other type of competitive exams. So let's start irreversible injury. Irreversible injury is due to persistent lethal stimuli. We have discussed many times that when the stimuli is lethal and that is persistent, it leads to irreversible injury. So persistent lethal stimuli mechanism of action is that it increase cytosolic calcium. When cytosolic calcium is increased, there are three enzyme activation. As we have discussed in reversible injury, when cytosolic calcium was increased there, that activates an enzyme called phospholipase, if you remember. So here in irreversible injury, much cytosolic calcium is increased and it activates three kind of enzymes: phospholipase, protease and endonucleases. Three kind of enzymes. So phospholipase, they do what? Phospholipase, they activate phospholipid in the cell membrane. So cell membrane be damaged, and that phospholipid, simply, this is cell membrane. This is what? This is cell membrane. Cell membrane. Now calcium act on this cell membrane and activate what? Phospholipase. And this phospholipase activate phospholipid, and this phospholipid combine with calcium and make what? Myelin figure. Very good guys, you have remembered. Myelin figure is made up of calcium plus phospholipids. So activation of the calcium activates phospholipase, phospholipid is activated, that combine with the calcium and myelin figures are formed. So on electronic microscopy you would see amorphous densities in mitochondria, but the amorphous densities in reversible injury were small, and here these amorphous densities in mitochondria are large and flocculent. The second enzyme activated by the cytosolic calcium is protease, and protease, you know better that it damages the cytoskeleton protein, and when the cytoskeleton protein is damaged, means the cell shape is maintained by proteins, and when the cytoskeleton proteins are damaged, the cell lost its shape. So loss of cell architecture by protease enzyme. The third enzyme is endonuclease. And here endonuclease do what? Nuclear damage. Means endonuclease act on the nuclear damage, and the nuclear damage, there is a DNA present, so DNA chromatin damage. And there are three events occur in the nucleus: pyknosis, karyorexis and karyolysis. Step by step we will discuss now pyknosis, karyorexis and karyolysis. Now you know better. The first one is pyknosis, the second karyorexis and karyolysis. What is pyknosis? Chromatin is simple. Then inside the nucleus there is a chromatin present, and when this chromatin condenses and form a clump-like structure inside the nucleus, it is called pyknosis. Means that there is a shrinkage of the nucleus. The second step is karyorexis. Rexis simply means fragmentation. When the nucleus divide into fragments, it is called karyorrhexis, fragmented nuclei. And the third step is karyolysis. Lysis means destruction. So chromatin lysis. When chromatin lysis, chromatin is thrown outward of the cell. Chromatin damage, and it is going outside of the cell. So chromatin was what? Chromatin was basophilic. Chromatin takes basophil stain. When now you give a stain, there is a decreased basophilia. Why there is a decreased basophilia? Because there is a decrease in the chromatin. And these all three steps are going forward for irreversible injury. Irreversible injury leads to cell death, and the cell death happened by necrosis, apoptosis, necroptosis, and pyroptosis. So this, after this, we will discuss necrosis in the next lecture. Have a good day.